Hi, welcome to the Lisa Saunders Show. You just heard the actual music of Connie Howard, who just moved here from where?
Music City, Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. Like whenever I watch those movies about like famous people like Patsy Cline, they always think it's exciting to go to Nashville and play at the Grand Ole Opry.
Of course, yes.
Is that how it's pronounced? Opry?
The Opry, yes. Yeah.
So what happens there, and why did you even go there? And what brought you back? I'm just dying to know everything about you. We just met at the Coastal Cottage Inn at their grand opening at a lovely bed and breakfast in New London. And you met Pam, and she invited you to play, right?
She did, yes.
And you had just moved here recently, right?
Right, just a few months ago, and that was actually my first social performance, we'll say, and it was just such a lovely Victorian home that they restored. They had a beautiful grand piano, and I was really thankful that they had asked me to come play for the opening of it, which is where we met, like you said, and then it turns out you have the show that I'm really excited to be on today, to be playing some songs and talking to you about.
Well, I don't know anything about what a songwriter does. I was so excited when I met you, and because you're just playing by yourself, and I thought, well, in movies, when there's a person playing at a party, everybody's supposed to gather around the piano.
Right.
So I asked you, well, can we come over and stand around and sing? And you're like, yes, please do. So I was really excited. I actually sang with you, even though I can't sing on key or anything. But that was great. You took requests. And is this just something you can do at any given moment? Is this something you do professionally now?
Well, that was a really fun night, and I hadn't done something like that in a long time, but I have, through the years, many years, played in piano bars where people sit around the grand piano and actually will eat or have drinks like right. There are stools and tables right set up on top of the piano, so it's a very intimate setting. And I did that in Nashville at 2 different venues for a couple years, playing a couple nights a week. And then also when I was in New York City, I played at a place called the Broadway Grill. And I was the piano player and singer, and all of the wait staff were aspiring musical theater singers.
Oh my gosh.
And that was just such a tremendous learning experience for me too, because they would bring in pieces that they were going to be auditioning with the following day or something. So they would bring it in, and on their break, when they weren't waiting at tables, I'd play the piano and they would get up and sing this, phenomenal rendition of Phantom of the Opera or something, and everyone would just go crazy because there were some really tremendously talented people.
Oh my gosh.
And then I'd go back to singing and playing my little version of my musical theater.
Now, you're a composer or songwriter?
Well, I'm actually a little bit of both. I mean, I think of songwriters as being more people who do the lyrics and the music, which I do. I do write lyrics and music.
The lyrics means the words.
Yes, the
okay.
words. Yeah.
Okay, let's get basic here because I don't know anything about music. Okay.
Yes, but I do write just music as well. Not as much, but I'm getting a little bit more into that now for some reason. And in Nashville, co-writing is very, very popular. So even though I write a lot of songs by myself, where I will write the lyrics and the music, in Nashville, it's almost like writing screenplays or something, where they like to hook writers up with other writers and other artists to see if they can come up with something that's even the chemistry or something.
Now, have you ever played at the Grand Ole Opry or been in the audience or wrote for people or?
I haven't written for anyone that has sung on the Opry yet. Let me think, make sure that's true. But I have performed at the other famous place in Nashville for songwriters called the Bluebird Cafe. And played there and had my songs sung there by various singers as well who had record deals. So
before I ask you, because I kind of want to back up, and how did you even get into doing this? Because you didn't major in this in college.
I didn't.
So I just play a tune, just something. You got me very interested in your Times Square time.
Okay.
Is there something that you would have played that you did for rehearsal for anybody, or anything just that makes you think of your Times Square days?
When I was living in New York?
There. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Well, this is a song that I wrote while I was living in New York, and it's called Train Track Blues. I'll just play a little bit of it, maybe. It's 1 a.m., I stumble in, catch the morning news. I hear the train on the railroad tracks. That's why I've got the blues. With every click and every clack, my mind keeps running back to the way we were last summer. Feels like a heart attack. When you touch me, I melt. When you look at me, I die. 'Cause in my arms, I've never known such a warm and sexy guy. And though you never say you love me, I feel it in your touch. That's why the sound of the railroad tracks, I miss you so much. Haven't given up. He said that you'd be back. Those words echo through my head with each train along the tracks. When you touch me, I melt. When you look at me, I die. 'Cause in my arms, I've never known such a warm and sexy guy. And though you never say you love me, I feel it in your touch. That's why the sound of the railroad tracks, I miss you so much.
You wrote the words and the music, the lyrics and the music?
I did.
Oh my
I
gosh,
did.
that is so cool. Now you have 2 CDs. Are either of those songs on one of these CDs?
Yes, I think actually Train Track Blues should be on this one. This was the first album that I wrote when I came back from living in France, and this is an album, a compilation of original songs, various different styles, some blues, some pop, some a little more country.
Wow, well where can we get these CDs?
They're both available on iTunes or on my website at conniehowardmusic.com.
Oh my gosh, and you gave me some, so thank you.
My gift for you having me here today.
Well, I'm really excited, and you did autograph these for me, right?
I did, yes.
Before we forget though, are you playing anywhere locally in the Connecticut area, Rhode Island area, so people can come hear you?
Absolutely. Actually, this weekend coming up, I'm going to be playing at Perks and Corks in Westerly.
Now you play there a lot, right?
I'm starting to play there more regularly, so
Okay.
it should be at least once a month.
So do people go to your website if they want to find out where you are next? Or is there a
Yes.
particular restaurant site that would be good about updating where you are?
Actually, the best is usually to go to my website and sign up for the newsletter.
Okay,
And
I
so
did
then I'll
sign
have
up
a
for the newsletter. I
that'll-
don't know if I got one yet.
Okay,
you
maybe
better make
not.
sure you send one.
I don't think I sent it out yet for this week, but so Perks and Corks will be Sunday night from 8 to 11, and then the following night at the Black Sheep in Niantic from 7 to 10. And I'm really excited about these shows because I'm going to be playing with a fellow singer-songwriter who's coming up from Nashville.
Oh my God, this is all like I see in the movies. Like suddenly this person walks in from the past and then you like stop everything. Oh, and they'll come up and join me. Are you going to pretend that that person just dropped in?
Well, a little more planned than that because there's so much that goes into it, but we'll make it feel like that for sure. Oh, there's Matt Bednarski. And it's so really neat because Matt's actually also from Connecticut and just moved down to Nashville about a year ago. So he's just beginning his pursuit of the music industry, but he's a phenomenal songwriter and guitar player. And if you'd like, I'd love to play just a bit of a song that he and I wrote together. Because
yes, and
like,
so you'll be playing that together?
Yes.
Oh,
and
yeah, please do.
That was one of those co-writes that was really interesting because we both write lyrics and music.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of had the idea and I was struggling with some of the verses, so I brought him in to help me finish it. But you know, the co-writing thing can go so many different ways. I do love to write with lyricists, people who just write words, and I've done that quite a bit. So someone will come to me with a poem even sometimes that will translate into a poem's not necessarily a song, but it's easily translatable into verses and choruses if the person's open to wanting to do that.
So do you, say somebody brings you a poem,
Mm-hmm.
could they hire you to say, okay, put this to music?
They could. If they were interested in turning that into a song, definitely. I'd be willing to work with someone.
Okay, and
do that.
Can you take this poem and say, oh, like hear the music, and like the train tracks? It really reminded me of that when you were playing it. I could picture that rhythm that you hear in a train.
Right.
So is that kind of the stuff that happens to you in a poem? Like you might suddenly hear the song that goes with it?
Absolutely. And for me, when I write by myself, especially, I feel like that feeling that you're getting from the music kind of instructs the words and the lyrics that are going to naturally be chosen to go fit along with.
So you might tend to write the music first, in your case.
And then the words and music, for me, absolutely come with how they fit with the rhythm or what they're making me feel, you know,
all right, well, what's
emotionally.
the song that you wanted to play with your what part did he play in
co-writer
it?
Matt. Well, he helped, and this is also very common in terms of songwriting in Nashville. A lot of times you'll have, like I had written the verse and part of the chorus and then was really stuck. And that's pretty common, like you'll get stuck somewhere in a song where you just don't know where to take it, or you know, you just need other eyes on it to take a look and maybe give you a fresh perspective. And Matt just is so brilliant musically that he really helped me take it to a different place that I don't think I would have otherwise, and then helped lyrically kind of make it stronger.
So did you
it was
sit
very
around like
collaborative.
up until 4 a.m, drinking lots of coffee and rolling around the floor as you're thinking, like the way they do it on TV, or is it just a little bit more structured?
That's so funny because actually, for me, there were a lot of late nights sitting around scribbling on napkins and all of that, candles and, you know, vibey things going on. But I had already moved up here. So we actually finished, this is the first song I've ever finished via Skype.
Oh,
so
really?
So we were like on Skype before both of us was going to our, you know, prospective day jobs.
Going,
okay, what do you think of this note here and this? And I was like, okay, see you later, Matt.
Yeah, all right, well,
so
now I'm dying
totally
to hear
different.
it. So go ahead and play it.
Now this is a real, I think, atmospheric kind of song that I could definitely hear in a TV show someday. It's a ballad, but it's called Love Will Win This Time. Soul surrendering to a second chance to make it right. Brick by brick, walls will crumble to the ground, built with sweat and tears throughout all those years. Love will win this time around. I can see the scars and hurt, the heart the arrow broke. But the war is over. Take my hand. You won't walk this road alone. Brick by brick, walls will crumble to the ground, built with sweat and tears throughout all those years. Armor on, but weapons down, wanting to believe love will win this time around.
makes me want to cry
Oh.
in a good way.
It's a hopeful love song.
Yeah, it is full of hope. That's really nice. Do you have like a particular message that you feel compelled to give in songs, or is it really just more the music and you just figure it out later what the words should be? Or is there a theme in your life that you're getting out there or something?
I think the theme, I actually had just done a radio interview last week on WLIS, which just aired for the first time this morning, and it's going to be available online for a couple of weeks. But he asked me a similar question, and I think like a theme for me has always been that hopeful romanticism that through the relationships that haven't worked out, for some reason, I was never one of those angry chick like, I didn't write when I was after the breakups in like pouring my heart out and being distraught and love, I'll never see love again. I always like picked myself up relatively quickly and imagined like, okay, it's still out there, hopefully somewhere.
Hopefully this next romance.
And that, like a lot of my songs, I've had boyfriends be like, and who was that about? And I'd be like, actually no one. Mm-hmm. Maybe about you, like
if you work out,
right? If you stop asking questions like that, no. But it just about how I want to feel in a relationship and how I hope someday I'll find someone that makes me feel this way. So just that hopeful love, optimism, I think definitely can permeate through a lot of my songs. Though I do write a lot of different themes.
Right. I mean, just like in my book, sometimes it's history, sometimes it's humor, sometimes it's a fairy tale. It just depends what mood I'm in.
Right, right.
Now, I was really interested to hear that you lived in France for a while playing. Like, how long were you living in France?
Well, that was a really incredibly wonderful opportunity after I graduated from college.
Where you went to Stanford, majored in something real, right?
I did, in political science.
Oh,
goodness.
Did you do anything with that degree? Is that why you were in France, or?
Well, actually, I had wanted to work in foreign service, and at the time, they only gave this foreign service exam once a year. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had 8 months to kill
in France
before that foreign service exam was going to come around again.
Uh-huh.
And so this opportunity came up, and you need to speak at least one foreign language fluently, which I had been taking French and Spanish all throughout college. But a friend of mine had just come back who had been teaching English in the south of France and said, there's this cafe owned by these two brothers, and they love having an American singer who kind of knows all the popular college songs, because it's a popular spot for university students to come just hang out and listen to, all the Billy Joel, Elton John, Fleetwood Mac, all the Beatles, whatever. And he said, if you're interested, they'd love to have you.
And they pay you, or do you live on tips, or how does it work?
They paid me like a salary.
Real money
for the year.
Oh my gosh!
And put me up in an apartment right in the center of town. It was in Aix-en-Provence, which is just, home of Cézanne, and Matisse lived there for a while. Like, just incredible art history there. And I couldn't have asked for a better first job ever.
Oh my gosh,
it was spectacular.
My aunt was a famous pianist, Olga von Till, and she got stuck over in Europe in World War II or World War I playing somewhere, and she had to live out the war there. So I'm glad you didn't get stuck in any war. And can you tell me what was this outdoor or partially indoor, outdoor, or what was this cafe?
It was partially a very large terrace outside, and then two stories inside, and the piano was actually situated right on the outside inside cusp.
Oh my gosh.
So you could hear it outside, but yet I was kind of inside and in the middle of the building inside, so it was
play something
really wonderful.
That is from those days. So, and I'll just sit here and pretend that I'm in a French cafe listening to you. Now, did you sing in French or English or both, or what?
I did sing a little bit in French, some of the real classic songs like from Edith Piaf, like Quand il me prend dans ses bras, il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. Et dit, la jouerai pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens en moi mon cœur qui bat. So I love.
Wow, you
French
just put me.
classic
You are
songs.
just sucking me into movies. I feel like we should be in a movie now, and I'll be your groupie.
Transported right into the French cafe. Well,
Yes.
the
Oh my
beauty of what
gosh.
music can do.
You're right, because that's why, like I said, I don't know anything about music. I really don't. But when you played at the Coastal Cottage Inn, you suddenly transported me everywhere. Like I went over the rainbow. Didn't you sing once? You know,
yeah.
somewhere over the rainbow. I mean, you took me, and then you got people hopping with the Billy Joel. You know, even the
Right,
people that
right.
didn't really want to sing, suddenly they had to
exactly.
start singing.
Right.
So,
that's so
can
true.
you play? This has nothing to do with anything, but can you play Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
Oh no. Well, I could. That night, actually, someone else sang that. I wasn't the one who sang it.
Oh, okay. You don't have to sing it. Or do you feel like it?
Yeah, that.
You don't have to.
Another woman got up and sang that with
She
me. And
did
she had
it.
a beautiful voice. So that one,
How about the
I'm
Billy
not,
Joel one? Do you
not
feel
off
like?
the top of my head, I
Do you
don't
feel
know
like
that one.
belting that one out?
Oh, we could play a little Billy Joel. I'll play a little snippet from it since
yeah,
he
you
was
can
so
just do-
instrumental
Well,
in
'cause, like,
everything that I do and write.
Really?
And
Why?
play.
Why was that?
I just think as a pianist, I mean, he was, I could remember when I was young, probably the first popular, singer that I would listen to. And I would try and learn all of his songs. I just I was such a huge fan of his, and have played so many of his songs for so many years in piano bars and all, in different venues that I could probably play them blindfolded.
Can you do the
and
Piano
backwards
Man
and
then? Like, at least the beginning, because that like
Blindfolded and
really got
backwards.
us all
Do
moving.
you want
didn't
to
it?
hear just a little of
Yeah,
the
just-
Piano Man? Okay. Only if you'll sing along.
All right, I will. You don't care how it sounds? All right, you start it out and I'll join you.
Okay, we'll do. Well, it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He says, "Girl, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes." Oh, da da dee da, da da dee da, da da. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight, 'cause we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. That song is a long song, so I figured just a taste of it, but oh, what a great song. And it always gets people singing. Like you
Yeah,
said,
because
it
like
is.
I still didn't even know the words, but
Right.
you know.
But you can always do the
everyone
la,
else
la,
is singing.
la.
Yeah, la la la. I don't know. So, is there any other songs or times in your life that were special? Like, I almost feel like there should be a movie about your life because everything you're telling me about is stuff that I've seen in a movie, and you're actually the movie right in front of me. I don't have to go to the movies anymore. I can just listen to you tell me
fantastic.
stories. Like I just love this whole Broadway thing where people, little hopefuls, would come in. Did any of those people get a part?
Oh yes. Through the years.
And they'd be waitresses, but they would come in with their song.
Yeah. One of the guys at the time, I know, got a part in Titanic.
Really?
Oh, he had, phenomenal voice. And so when you see these things happening, it inspires you and keeps you going to write, because I've always aspired to be more of a writer because I love vocalists, and I don't truly think of myself as a vocalist. So I like to write all different styles as well. So working with tremendously talented people just helps a lot. But speaking of, when we were talking about being in France, there is one song that I wrote that I think is kind of fun. I think it was kind of inspired a little bit from my days in New York, just because I did a lot of cabaret and musical theater, and I think this one lends itself to maybe being part of a musical someday, but it would have to be an international one because the verse is the chorus is actually in French.
Okay.
So,
well, go ahead.
This will absolutely, I hope, transport you to a French cafe.
You wrote this?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The lyrics and the music. But being in France, you know, inspiration is everywhere, so it certainly helps. Like you to know before you go and make up your mind. Secrets lay deep, but love is blind. But I'm worth it. Wait and see. Gypsy soul loves to wander far away, so far away from home. Though you may not be always by my side, my heart will never roam. Je veux parler en français si vous voulez une surprise. Je veux savoir tout que vous aimez et ça m'a fait un grand sourire. So what you see may not be just what you'll get. You might want to invest in some time with me, 'cause secrets lay deep and I'm worth it. Wait and see. So what you see may not be just what you'll get. You might want to invest in some time with me. The secrets lay deep and I'm worth it. Wait and see.
Wow. That is so perky and spunky and makes me think. I don't even know what a cabaret is, but it makes me think of one. What is a cabaret?
Well, there's a few in New York, but I think they started in Paris, and it's mostly a place where people put together shows of original music. So it's not necessarily like has a play that it's not a musical. It's more just like a review of songs.
Okay.
So I had put together.
But they all have to be original, like for it to be in a cabaret.
Pretty much. Like in New York, the one that I would play at occasionally is called "Don't Tell Mama," and there's a couple others that I forget the name of right now. But so it was just I would put together. You know, you try to have some theme and some plot through the whole thing, but it really doesn't. It's not a play. It's more just a compilation of original songs.
I don't really like the movie Cabaret. Like I feel like disturbed on many levels.
Right. That's a tough, darker.
And I'm not saying
musical,
it's not. It is a good movie, and some of the songs are really catchy, but it's disturbing. So they don't have to be disturbing. Like
no.
It can be a cabaret that's fun and you're not feeling ill at times.
No, I think and cabarets in general, I think, are much more like lighthearted. A lot of times there's costumes, and it's more of just the joie de vivre of, singing and dancing and music and
I
life.
just loved your little French tune. That was so cute.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Well, we only have about a minute left, so I just want you to finish up with, again, your website. We didn't get to talk about your childhood, but I'd love to have you come on my show again so I can talk about how you even became a pianist.
Yeah,
You know, so I hope
love
you'll
that.
come back. But please, finish up with where people might be able to find you, plus your website.
Okay. So this weekend coming up, after the 4th of July weekend, I'll be at Perks and Corks in Westerly on Sunday night, and the Black Sheep on Monday night, July 7th, from 7 to 10. And for further dates, please go to my website, conniehowardmusic.com.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the Lisa Saunders Show, and I was really excited to have you, Connie. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.